I started by oiling the pressure bar with 2 applications of oil. Then I used a hairdryer to heat it up and the pressure bar came out. The rest of the video I will give the parts a cleaning. After that, show some of the tools I have been using recently. Here I am with the pressure bar, and I couldn't get it out earlier. So what I had done about 7 hours ago was I applied oil here and in here, down here, and I let that soak in for about 6 or 7 hours. And then about an hour ago, I made another application of the oil here. So now I'm going to see if I can just remove the bar. So I'm going to pull down. I don't have anything there. So I'm going to take a pair of vice grips and I'm just going to see gently if I can turn it. And it has turned. What I'm going to do is I'm going to heat it up for a minute. So that was about a minute. And I don't really want to, do I want to touch that now? It's warm and it's greasy is what it is. So let me just try that again. And it is turning. And it is sliding down now. Cool, it is out now as well. So that's the pressure bar, and that bar there in front of the pressure bar lying down is the needle bar. And as we can see, this pressure bar, it certainly needs to be cleaned, and that little device in there that was attached to that, let's see if, oh, there we go, it's out. So here are all the pressure bar parts. There's the bar itself, there's the spring, and there's this washer. And this washer goes between the spring, the pressure screw. Right, so when you're taking this apart, make sure once you take this out, and then when you start to pull the spring up, have an eye because that's gonna get lost otherwise. I'm gonna do a light cleaning on with some oil and whatever else. I've got some crud cutter down there, and of course we got soap and water. First thing I want to do is I want to douse everything with a somewhat generous helping of oil. And I've got blue shop towels, paper shop towels on top of a towel, a utility towel. And all I'm doing is giving it a light cursory cleaning to see what kind of dirt comes off. I'm going to spread the oil around a little. Oh yeah, it's getting some of the varnish off. Not bad at all. Let me get a little bit of soap. That's just dishwashing liquid, Palmolive or something. I'm not sponsored. I'm using their name for educational purposes here. So that's just a little bit of soap. Liquid dishwashing soap. That seems to be working as well. But this is a good test because it's pretty oily, that piece. And it's easy to film. So how much more do you want to do? You know? And because it's a film and it's Jebb Adams, then I want to do a little more, right? And all I really want to do, and if you've been here before, you know that I want to get a little bit of crud cutter, 100%. And we get a little brush, and we're just going to wash it around, there, and this is degreaser, and it's kind of organic. It's very organic actually. There's no hazardous poison control information on it because it won't kill you. It may give you a sore stomach. You might puke. I don't know, I'm just speculating. I don't know, I shouldn't say that. I'm just guessing. So, you know, a little bit like, I'm not doing like the full 5-step immaculate cleaning that I quite often do when something's really dirty and I'm really, you know, that's the point of the video. And those little guys, I'm going to throw them in there, and then I'm going to put a little bit of water in there. There. I'm going to save that water. Let those sit in there for a minute. Okay. I got a stainless steel wire brush. That should help scrape some of the things off. Some of the varnish and gunge. That came off good. We'll just put that right there. And we'll take this. Cool. And we'll get in there. Nice. I can see it. Can you see it? It's taking it off. So there, that's making, and there's the marks at the bottom or on the needle bar for setting the timing and the position in that. So we'll give them a nice scrape as well. And you know, for our purposes, this really is clean enough. You know, these are not museum pieces. And this one especially is not, like, it's never, you know, it's a movie prop. Again, it's still stiff. It still won't rotate freely. This is coming nice and clean with this stainless, or this wire brush or whatever it is. You know, even though we're doing a great job and really doing more than is required, it really looks nice. And it's fun as heck to do it on a video and watch it later. Especially when I'm focused on the job at hand for a change. So that one's good. Let's see this one. It was a little messy. So that's pretty much all I'm doing for this cleaning. My blue paper towels are getting, my blue shop towels are getting nice and oily anyway. Okay. We'll pour that water into there and catch those like that. Then we'll take the hair dryer and they're not quite dry as I would like. And then we'll put this guy there behind them so they don't all blow away. There, I think we're good there. I think we got them all dried off there. I don't think we'll get any flash rust. That's what I'm trying to avoid, right? So that was the kind of cleaning portion. We're going to take a look at some of the tools that we've been using here recently to take the train wreck apart. The tool part of the video, closer to the end of the video, and what I'm doing here is, you can see them laid out. These are the most used items on the table. You know, the pen, the pointer, and the magnetic picker-upper. I'm just going to put everything that I take off in a box down here. And the magnifying glass, it always ends up stray here. I don't need that up here. I mean, I may need them. I may be I'm just putting these things in the box just to get them out of the way. And here I have way too many cleaning tools, you know. But they come up here as they're needed, and then I don't clean up every day, so maybe that's more a reflection. Here I got a couple of pairs of scissors, kind of a nice pair for thread and stuff, and then a utility pair. I'm going to put these little cleaning devices over there for now. And I know I've got, you know, some small screwdrivers, but as you can see, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and then 3 more little screwdrivers. So there's way too many screwdrivers. I don't need 11 screwdrivers, you know. I don't need that array of sizes. You know, I need 2 sizes. I like the long ones here because then I don't have to have my hands blocking what I'm doing with my fingers, blocking the view of the camera. So anyway, we'll just put those down there for now because we're going to free up a lot of space when we do that. Boy, oh boy. It's a good thing we're making this movie, isn't it? So we'll put all that in there. And then these things are really handy. These are little cleaners. And it's almost like on the end, they remind me of pussy willows, you know, that you picked when you were a little kid in the gardens and that. So I just wanted to give them special reference. I had been using the punches to try and, oops, there's my notes, to try and get this bushing, to get that bush. I was trying to get this bushing off this end of the sewing machine. Decluttering, there's my notes. It's good. See, it's not all fun and games. I gotta work, you know. Next, this is really important. This is a Chapman screwdriver set. These are used by U.S. Navy SEALs because they're non-electric or non-magnetic or whatever. But I find, you know, I use the long-handled screwdrivers because then I don't have to have my fingers right in the way of the camera. But I love these screwdrivers, and they're really a great item. So that's that. And then here what I have left are, you know, pliers, crescent wrench, needle cutters, needles, pliers, vice grip, crescent wrench. So I don't need all of those there all the time. So this is a great time to declutter. And then, you know, like, I mean, look at that. I got all these bits here. They shouldn't be cluttering up my little work area. This stuff I swear by, the electrical contact cleaner. It's, you know, it's magic. So I'll just leave that there. And then there's the brushes. And that is kind of my tool time, my tool collection that I've been using recently. So, and I hope you found some of those tools interesting. I'm sure we have some of the same here. And I do have a lot of other tools, but it's just that, you know, they're on other workbenches and stored away or what have you. The one thing I don't have that I was thinking that I would like to get is an ultrasonic cleaner. I think that's what they're called, ultrasonic cleaner. Anyway, hope all is well with your machines and your goodness. Keep safe, have fun. Thanks for stopping by. Adios, amigos. I'm going to douse everything with a little bit of oil. Make sure there's enough to go over all the parts I want. And this is the start of my little cleaning. Over here on the other side of the sewing machine, the 1591 that we've been taking apart, going to talk about the tools, some of the tools that I've been using to get this little project done. And as you can see, starting out here, we have long shank screwdrivers. And the reason I like these long shank screwdrivers is that for filming purposes, it allows me to keep my large hands out of the view, because quite often my hands were blocking the view. So that's why those are really useful. The other thing I'd like to point out is these little cleaning devices here. They're really, really small on the cleaning end. Let's see if I can get one up a little closer, let you have a look at it, give you an idea. But they have like a furry little bit, you know, like a pussy willow kind of thing there. And so those are really handy, and I found some of those today. Of course, I've got the little Singer screwdrivers that when you get into some of these little spots underneath in that, they're really, really handy. And that's another cleaning device there. The thing that I did have to get today is my my little painting brushes, because that's what I'm going to use to paint the parts that to clean the parts that I just showed you at the start. Speaking of screwdrivers, let me adjust the camera a little. At the top of the screen, there's the yellow Chapman box. And I love Chapman screwdrivers, especially because the company is owned by a woman, and it's mainly women that work there. So some of you ladies might find that interesting, as I'm sure some of some of us gents do. But this is a mishmash of go-to things that I've been using recently. I have some punches. I was trying to take off the hand wheel bearing at the hand wheel end. That was unsuccessful. Made a video about that. And you know, screwdrivers, crescent wrenches, you know, small stuff for getting in there that will fit. So that's kind of what I got as far as tools. Whatever I've been using recently is sort of there. It's not all that organized. What I do like about having it there is that it's hard for me to knock it off the table. You know, if I put it on a stool, then I run the risk of knocking the stool, either knocking the stool over or knocking the tools off the stool, which I have done before. There's a little bit of voice of experience here. And I can prove that in the process of making this video. I found this when I didn't even realize that it was missing, because I'd forgotten that it even existed. So that's there. This video is about the parts that... So the screw is loosened, and here's the other end of that pin. So I'm going to give that a little whack with a punch and see if I can get it out. I could hit it on an angle, and the other thing I could do is just hit it with a pair of pliers. There, and we see it there. So that's all we had to do, was just get that varnish unclung. So that's out of there now too. Isn't that good? Oh yeah, that was stiff. That's what that looks like. There's no real thread. Where are we here? Yeah, there's no real thread. What I'm curious about is that there's no real flat spot on this. I thought there might be a flat spot on it since it had that set screw there. Anyway, I'm going to put some oil in there right now. Shake the oil that says in the instructions. And so I got a little bit of oil in there. What else do I have here? I thought I had a little... Yeah, I got a little brush. And I can just do that. And then I want to take this out. And I want to put a drop of oil, pardon me. It's oil, not oil and water. It's a sewing machine, not salad. And then just give that a little brush. Whoopsie daisy. Started in there now. And then I'm just going to take some oil on this part. There we go. So that's being spread in there nicely. It's still going to have to, this is going to have to be cleaned, as are all these parts.